Hey there. Motivational moments, Faithful Friday. Freedom worth living. Happy 4th of July. Tomorrow, our nation celebrates 250 years since the birth of the United States. For 2.5 centuries, generations of Americans have enjoyed freedoms that much of the world only dreamt about. See, our founding fathers, they weren't perfect men. They had flaws, they had disagreements, they had failures just like we do. But one thing is undeniable. They believed that our rights did not originate with government. They came from God. That's why one of the most famous lines in American history says that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. Think about that. If our rights come from God, then our freedom isn't merely a political gift. It carries a moral responsibility. And that's where today's scripture comes in. James 1:22 says, "But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." See, James wasn't writing about government. He was writing about people. See, it's easy to celebrate freedom one day a year, but it is much harder to live faithfully the other 364. Our nation wasn't built simply because people wanted liberty. It was sustained because countless men and women believed that liberty required virtue, character, sacrifice, and accountability before God. Freedom without responsibility eventually becomes chaos. Rights without righteousness becomes selfishness. Blessings without gratitude become entitlement. As I look around, I don't believe the greatest need in America is simply for better politicians, stronger laws, or more successful economies. I believe our greatest need is for hearts that return to God. Because when people change, families change. When families change, communities change. And when communities change, nations change. Revival has never started in Washington. It has always started with ordinary people who humbled themselves before God. So tomorrow, enjoy the fireworks. Celebrate with your family, your friends. Be thankful for the sacrifices made by those who came before us. But don't just stop there. Ask yourself this question. Am I using the freedom God has given me to honor Him? Because the future of this country won't ultimately be determined by what happens in government buildings. It'll be determined by what happens in our homes, our churches, and our hearts. Tomorrow, let's celebrate not only the freedom we've inherited, but the faithfulness we're called to live. I'm Wes Bray, and this has been another motivational moment. Until next time, don't just hear truth, live it.